All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday. Welcome back. Sean here with Blue Ridge. Hope everyone's doing well. So we got the fancy serial number market report for the day, and we're going to be taking a look at realized sales from about the last 48 hours. Okay, we actually have a pretty large list today, encompassing about 21 separate auctions that I wanted to personally highlight in this show. Now, by no means does this account for all of these sales where I type in fancy serial numbers and everything that's completed from the last 48 hours. That list actually is probably about 5 or 6 times the amount of notes that we're going to be discussing here today. But these are notes, ladies and gentlemen, and this is particularly very intriguing because collecting paper money has been kind of like the redheaded stepchild of numismatics. All right, I'm not going to BS you. It was hard to get people on board to begin to even pay attention to these, let alone take the opportunity to find some treasures. Okay, fancy serial numbers come in a myriad of different patterns. Who buys these things is a question I get all the time, and it's really collectors. There's people that are into numerology. There are folks all across the globe that collect these based off of maybe a specific significance, historical, or maybe something as lucky as like eights and sevens are very widely collected, and people pay a lot of money for those particular notes. So now all of a sudden we're seeing this like huge trend, this wide swath of folks that are beginning to pay closer attention to these notes. And it's worth mentioning that if I had to if I had to go out to a bank today and I had $1,000 to invest into doing some sort of hunt activity, would it be coins or would it be paper money? And I'm going to tell you guys right now, because of how easy it is, I'm going to pick paper money 100 out of 100 times. I'm just saying it because that is truly where the money is to be made now. As you guys know, the BEP, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, cranks out lots of notes every single month. You can actually go onto their website to look at the report of how many notes they printed for that week or for that month, and they'll even give you a serial number range, which is really cool. So they have a production report handy. So the system is continuously being flushed of new notes. The old raggedy notes are leaving circulation as banks and various other folks are taking them out of circulation for destruction or replacement. But right now, because of this burgeoning part of the hobby, it's like shooting fish in a barrel because of how the system's being recycled. And it's giving everybody a true opportunity to go out there and look for these. So we're going to take a look at these notes. Again, if you've seen any of these fancy serial number talks or reports, I don't talk about graded currency for the most part. Again, the idea is you're going to find these and then you're going to relist them on eBay. And paying $30-$40 per note to grade doesn't seem like a good idea, considering that a lot of these notes will sell for themselves, okay, because it's all about serial numbers. It's not so much about anything else. Sure, condition still does matter, but not as much as you guys think. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in here. The first note is a 1981. It looks like a little bit older note, but you could apply this to any other note of any date. So we have what they call low serial number. Fancy starts out with 4 leading zeros and then 4 digits. Now, it used to be that a 4-digit serial number wasn't really anything to, scream at. To this day, you're still not going to be able to retire off a lot of these notes, but, you make things like this, the dollar bill that sold for $17.50. I would say, yes, let's do it all day long. So there's a little bit, you can see a little bit of the ink bleed over inking. That's very normal for these notes because I know someone's going to bring that up. But there you go. There's your $1 bill. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a 1981 or a 69 or a 2017 series. With this same serial number, expect to achieve about a similar type of market for it, and that's that $10 to $20. They can even go higher than that if the condition of the note's much nicer. But there you go. 4-digit serial number is now considered a low serial number for a lot of folks. $17.50 is a good way of converting a dollar bill. Now, if that same serial number is, say, on a 20 or 50, you probably won't be able to make a whole lot of money, if any, because eBay will still take away their 13% fee. And if you barely sell it for over face value, you're going to end up losing money. So keep that in mind. Always go for the ones, twos, and fives. If you could help it, do all ones. Here's the next one here. This is actually a very neat one. And I have a lot of people that have found these. And now we have a couple documented sales, both from the same seller, Loot Guy. This is what they call 4 pairs. And it's sold for $20. So again, we have a dollar bill here. 2 sevens, 2 twos, 2 nines, 2 eights. Okay, and then they're going to be paired up together. If you have like 7, 8, 2, 9, blah, 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 and you're like, oh, it's got 4 pairs. It does, but it's not visually appealing, and therefore those particular type of notes will not sell for any measurable amount of money. 2017 A series, but even look at this. This one, even if you look at Federal Reserve note, still has some of that ink bleed. So they just filled up the inkwell prior to the print, and that's reflected on here. So again, nothing too crazy, but just to let you guys know, that's kind of par for the course on our currency. $20. That's a pretty good flip right there. Keep an eye out for those. Birthday notes. This is actually one segment that I think is going to take off as more people embrace birthday notes and the need for them as a gift or some other significance in in someone's life. So this one reads June 16, 1982. Sounds like a birth year to me. Birth note. $30. That's what it's sold for. And keep in mind, people do charge shipping at their discretion. So, I mean, you guess you could say this thing sold for $35, all right? Because that's the cost of ownership. You always have to add shipping in there. But the typical Western world orientation when it comes to dates is you're going to have 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 4 digits for the year. It's the same way as like filling out an application of some sort. This is how it's generally oriented. Now, if we are across the pond in, say, Great Britain and some of the other countries, they orient it a little bit differently. I think they start with the year and then they go backwards to the month and then a date. All right. So it's different everywhere else, but recognizably, this is the orientation that you needed to be at. All right. There's 2, 2, and 4. To realize the maximum profitability on these things. So again, at first glance, it just looks like a jumbled mess of numbers. But if you actually read it Western world way, if that even is a thing, and it reads correctly, then you might have something. All right. So again, $30 for a dollar bill. That's pretty good flip right there. We have another low serial number. Again, another 4-digit low. This time on a star note and on a $2 bill. So this one sold for $36.88, garnering 21 total bids. Sure, the note's pretty well circulated. All right, so we're not talking about a high-end piece here. So pretty neat that it's on a star note. Generally, fancy serial numbers on stars have a little bit better secondary market value, and typically they sell anywhere from 10 to 50% more because it is a star note. All right, so 1976, again, this is like one of my favorite designs of notes today. They still make this reverse design. They still make $2 bills, even though it doesn't have a whole lot of targeted application use, other than maybe tipping or something else, So, yeah, again, realize that there is some market for a 4-digit serial and a whole lot more if it's a star note. All right, so the next one that we have here, this is more along the traditional lines of good old fancy serial numbers. This $1 bill sold for $101. It's a 1995 series, so it's got a little bit of age on it, but it is a 7 of a kind twos. So you have 7 twos with an interrupter in the middle. That's why it's a 7 of a kind twos and not 7 in a row. Sorry. So there's an interrupter in there. If all the twos were together, it would be 7 in a row. 7 in a rows typically command about 10 to 20% more money in the market than 7 of a kind. All right, but again, another great one to look out here. Beautiful note, eye appealing. Even has a little drop down gas pump digit there on that last two. Again, it's very minor, but some people kind of make a big deal out of it, so I figure I'd throw in my 2 cents, or in this case, $1 into the mix. So $101. That's a really good sale right there. Next one that we have here, this one's actually neat. This is what I call a hybrid. It's a dollar bill. Get this out of the way. It's sold for $15. Okay, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but check this thing out. So someone drew a line under the serial number, probably with Photoshop or something like that. I don't think it's. Yeah, they just use the same image 3 times in there. But you can see it's a two digit super repeater, but it goes 4646 2424. So it's not 46 all the way across. It actually changes into a completely different 2-digit number after it hits the halfway point. So sure, it reads like a super repeater. I don't think it's called that because you don't have the same 2 numbers repeated 4 times in a row on the serial number string. But nonetheless, this is quite an attractive note. I've probably found 1 or 2 of these. They're not the easiest things to find, but a lot of people end up spending these. All right, they're kind of thrown off to the fact that, oh, it's not a super repeater by definition, therefore I'm just going to go ahead and spend it. Now you don't need to. I'm surprised that this even sold for only $14.99. It looks like something that could possibly sell for $20 to $30. So this person does have a relatively low feedback score. I know 96% seems high enough, that's okay. But for someone with 1,400 positive feedbacks and a 96% score, that could be a little bit concerning. Always check out the feedback rating to see what the deal is going on with this person. But pretty cool sale. So we have another 7 of a kind, this time on a 1963 $1 bill. This thing is a beaut. It only sold for $50. It seems a little bit low for what it is because 7s are one of the most popular selling single digits in fancies till the end of time. All right, 7s, 8s, and 1s are the 3 digits that people pay up more money. Again, more 7s and 8s because of its lucky number status. Folks in China and Japan and a few other countries, they pay a ridiculous amount of money for notes that have all 8s in them. All right, they pay way more money than probably you or I might spend on it. I don't know who you is, but so someone from the Western world, let's put it that way, who is neither Chinese or Japanese, and don't really believe in lucky numbers. I don't know. But anyways, this is a phenomenal note, $50. Someone I think probably got a steal here because I've seen similar notes in this condition sell for upwards of $100 or more. So that's a little bit strange there. We have a 2-digit radar coming up next here. If you were going to ask me which note would you pay more money for, this note or the previous note with the 7 sevens in it, I would pay a lot more for the 7 sevens. But we have a palindrome repeater, or radar rather, sold for $75.99. It was bid up organically with 27 bids. Ugh. but kind of lucky sevens. The secret to success when it comes to selling these things is making sure that you put all the right and correct keywords in there. Someone that could possibly help you guys out if you wanted to, Kingdom Currency, who sells a lot of these different types of fancies on eBay, has a workshop, a membership, a Facebook page, and a YouTube channel. And that's all he talks about. He really dissects into this, and he's the top currency seller for fancies on eBay right now. He's number one. But checking this note out, very well circulated. That's a $75 $1 bill there, folks. It doesn't look all too attractive. However, it has nothing to do with the condition. It has more to do with the fancy serial number. So that is that. $76. We have another 2-digit, this time a 4-digit repeater on this 2013 $1 bill. Another crazy sale here, folks. $57.99 with 21 bids. So what do we have here? We have, it's a binary. It's a 4-digit repeater because it's 1117, 1117. It has 6 ones, so it's a 6 of a kind ones. There's just really a lot to like here with this note. All right, it's a very attractive, visually eye-appealing from a fancy serial number perspective. I could see why this one was bid up to $58. All right. Coming up next, we have another 4-digit repeater, but this one originally I looked at it first and I'm like, wow, that's a super repeater, 9494. Oh wait, it's 9434. It's the every other 4 that catches you, so you gotta be careful. 4-digit repeater, so 9434, 9434, sold for $12, 9 bids. Again, a little bit circulated. It's got some issues. It's got a very nice hard centerfold. It's got, circulation wear all throughout. It's not the most attractive looking note. And the back's pretty ugly. But still, $12. Take it and run. We have a $20 bill. It actually worked out really well for the seller because it is a premier fancy. Sold for $132.33, 31 bids strong. And it's a low digit, number 72 on a $20 bill. And I usually give people a hard time when they find this on a 20 or a 50. I mean, you're not going to be making so much money on it because it's a naturally high denomination. You're in it for a lot more money, things like that. And normally that would be true for a bunch of other kind of like lesser fancy serial number archetypes. Not this one. This note right here, regardless of grade, is an extremely valuable note. Again, it's not the prettiest looking 20, but if you could convert that for this amount of cash, why not? I would do it all day long. That's easy money. True Binary, this is coming around here, 2013, fancy serial number, Chicago, 1s and 0s. So binaries are any 2 digits. A true binary, by definition, is 1s and 0s. All right, so that's what we have here. So best offer was accepted. And what we're going to do is actually take a close look at what this one did sell for by going on to 130point.com and then simply copying and pasting the title of that listing in there, hitting enter, and then we get to see how much this thing sold for, which turns out is $60. So always use this tool or other similar tools like it to get to the bottom of sold prices. All right, so it's not that one, it's this one. All right, so $60 for that one. That's a pretty good deal. Again, take a look at the condition of the note. Well, we're really not seeing anything that's going to light the world on fire. We already looked at this $2 bill. Binary zeros and sixes. Again, quite attractive. You can even say it's a flipper note as well, because when you turn the note upside down, the 6s turn into 9s and they don't look weird, and the zeros are the same shape whether they're upside down or whatever. $43, 26 bids on here. It's a 2017 A. Good looking note. All right. So another good one to be on the lookout for. Here is a impressive sale for what we have. if you were to compare this one to the dollar bill that had seven of a kind sevens, it's gonna make you scratch your head. Like, why did that other note only sell for $50, but this one right here that is just marginally different, only it has one less seven, sell for $138.50. 10 bids, by the way, in case you missed that one. It's a 2009 series note. Six of a kind sevens. Again, this is more of the lucky serial number appeal to it. But yeah, dudes and dudettes, I would take that all day long. That is a big sale for this note. Here's another binary. This time we got some eights in the mix along with a couple twos. This one sold for $26. 11 bids. 2017 series. Again, a note with circulation. You got four very hard distinguished folds in the paper. Which folds do play probably the maximum kind of play when it comes to condition. But $26, again, really good sale here. I've seen them sell for a little bit more, so this might just be a minor anomaly. And it's a relatively newer seller with a feedback score of 3, which, given the psychology of how people, buy and shop on the platform, they actually pay attention to that score right there. Another decent one here. Another $20 bill with six of a kind or six in a row, eights, sold for $65. It was only 2 digits away from solid eights. That is wild. $65 sale. Sure, the profit's not as deep and strong on this because of the high denom, the high face value. It does have an edge split right at the top middle, and it's also got a little teller mark there as well. And yeah, there you go. Attractive. Very good sale. I think the net profit will end up being about $30 on this one after fees. Next one up, we have another 4-digit repeater sold for $15.50. By the way, 4-digit repeaters are the lowest form of regular fancy serial numbers you'll find out there. Okay, they're the cheapest. And that's why they sell for things like 10, $15. So 15.50. Nice little close up there, 2434, 2434 on this FH block or EH block rather. So there you go. Again, not the prettiest note, but a great sale. $32. This one's missing quite a bit of information. I think this one's undersold by a huge margin. So it's a very incomplete title. Star Notes and Fancy Serial Numbers. $32 with 2 bids. Only 2 bids on this one. 0 feedback score. Again, which could be a deal breaker, and I'm sure it was for a lot of people. But check that out. 7 of a kind eights. This is a note that I see sells for between $100 to $200 for a 7 of a kind eights. And this one ended up earning itself a tremendous discount because, and the note's not oriented correctly. It still drives people crazy, myself included, when I have to cock my head around to actually read the serial numbers. But someone scooped up a really good deal. Hopefully they do get the note. Got a couple more here left, guys. We got another binary, 4s and 0s on this 1988 $1 bill. $17 was the sale price. It's circulated, but again, attractive. 4s are not a very good serial number to resell. They're actually pretty bad. 4s and 9s are not the most attractive numbers to sell. I don't know. 9s are better when they're combined with 6s because they have the true kind of flipper mentality to them. But this one, yeah, nothing too crazy there. But still, very equitable. Another 6 in a row 8s. Best offer was accepted on this one. On a $20 bill, hopefully it sold for at least 3x face value because that means you made some money on this one. So let's see where we're at here on the $20 bill with 6 8s. We're going to go back to 130 point like we did before. And then do a quick little copy and paste on that search bar. No results found, and you might have to go back and actually remove a few of the special characters, like the hyphens or dashes might need to go. Six of a kind. Let's see what else. I might do it. Let's see. There you go. 55 bucks. Okay, that's fine. That's all right. That's a nice little $25 profit on that one. Nothing too terribly crazy, but you know, they all add up and see all the other ones that pop up too. Fancies sell for all different amounts of money, and generally they're over face value. The last note of the day, super repeater. This is the legit real deal here. 7-3 repeated 4 times on the serial number, and this is a $20 bill. Sold for $152.50 with 6 bids. Quite attractive here. There you go. It's got a little brown smudge there. Don't ask me what that is. My original thoughts and tendencies are not what you want it to be. So, obviously. But yeah, someone used this as toilet paper. How about we go ahead and say that? But still, not a really, really nice sale here. 152 bones for this one. So there you go. Those are the 20 top fancy serial numbers within the last 2 days. Yeah, go out there. Just go to the bank and ask for straps of $1 bills or twos. Twos are very interesting. People do that, but you know, finding banks that actually have thousands of dollars in $2 bills to hand you can be a little bit tricky. So go for the ones. So designate a pickup bank, designate a drop bank, and just kind of repeat the process. And it'd be better if you had a few banks to use at your discretion. Ones that are willing to play ball with you, all right, and do it a few times a week. And you're going to see that you're going to find some pretty neat stuff. And just be informed of all the different things that you can monetize off of, including those birthday notes and tombstone notes, which has 2 years on it, on there as well. That's always going to be a good one. There you go. Yeah, great to see these sales. Very robust, very active secondary market here this week in the middle of summer. So we're gonna keep on going. And brand new 2021 series notes, ones, twos, and fives are currently out in circulation. So definitely gun for those. They're gonna have the best conditions that you could find. All right. So that was fun. Enjoy. I hope you guys find your riches out there, whether it's through coins or currency. There's plenty to go around, and there's a lot of interested collectors looking for your notes. That's going to go ahead and wrap things up. I'm your host Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hopefully, see you guys tonight on the live coin Q&A live stream. It's going to be at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, the usual time. We have some pretty big announcements to talk about, some pretty neat stuff that's being found. And a quick little warning, but I'm not going to spoil any more. Just come join us then. All right. Take care. Love you guys. Thank you for all the views and support, and I'll see you next time.